Okay, last time around we created a really simple template using Dreamweaver. Now what we want to do is we want to take that template and we want to start looking at creating each page one by one based on what's required. So let's have a look. School trips, how to find us, the task. Let's go. Where's our home page? Let's see what need. I'm just going to scan through this and see what's required to go on the home page. Right, from the brochure. This is for the brochure. So this rollover image is for the activities page. School trips. Where did this go? Positioned. Which we put it on the right text. This should go on the About Us page. School trips, how to find us. How to insert the how to find us onto the About Us page as well. Video should be embedded on the home page. The video should be like click. Okay, the task. Okay, so really here the only thing that needs to go into the home page from here is the video should be embedded on the home page. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my assets page. I'm going to take the template, I'm going to copy the template, and then I'm going to paste the template. Where's my paste? Oh, let's Control and V. There's my template copy, and I'm going to call that one home. Okay, and then I'm going to open the info page, the info document. So this is all the text that's going to be on our on our website, and it should tell us. So not much to go actually. It says Escapade opens on 5th August, blah blah blah. Information for Escapade Home Park, open request. So there's a lot of text here. It doesn't on some scenarios it will tell you where to put, or it's more of an indication as to what goes where. On the 2015 scenario, it doesn't seem to be like that. I'm going to take things from here. All of this stuff, I'm just going to take that and put it into the home page. So I've copied that, pushing Control C. Now I'm going to go to my folder again. I'm going to drag my home page, which I created, into Dreamweaver. Okay, and I do remember, if I remember correctly, why hasn't it kept the size? Okay, and if you remember, we left the content area blank, so let's put the content text in like that. Now it's important to remember that we're not meant to scroll down, so not too much is meant to go on this page. I think this is fine. The only thing we have to do is put the video in. So before I do that, I've got to convert the video. So let's go to our video. Let's open with VLC media player. Hopefully you have the, I'm not going to watch that. What I want to do is convert and save. Okay, right, looks like I've got to do this. Let's go back to our documents, ICT, CIDA, assets. We'll take our video and we want to convert our video to, let's say, MP4. That looks correct. And we want to save it as video.mp4. And start click, and now if I click on start, it should quickly, as you can see, it seems to be done fairly quickly, so it's converted. Let's double check that. Let's play the MP4 version. Does it work? It works just fine. So now what I want to do is go back to my Dreamweaver and just embed that into my page. I'm going to click on insert, scroll down to HTML, and then HTML5 video. Click on that, the icon pops up, and where it says source, I'm going to click on browse, and I'm going to go to the video which I just created, which was the MP4 video. Remember the extension. and the scenario doesn't tell me that the video has to be a particular height and width, but it says the video should play back on click. So if I just go back here and just make sure that autoplay isn't included, so we don't want it to play automatically, we want it to play only when people click. So I'm going to leave the controls there so people can do that. So let's save that. So my home page more or less is done. I know it looks like I'm scrolling, but don't forget that this toolbar won't be on the actual page I test it on. Let's test this out. So let's click on our home page and let's open with Chrome, so we see how our page will look. There is a bit of scrolling involved there, so I may have to change a few elements. I might shrink the navigation bar down a bit more. The video is quite small anyway. If I click on play, one click, oh, why have we paused? Oh, it does play, which is fine. No sound. I'm not sure why there's no sound. Okay, so as you can see, at the moment, some things are a bit too big. So I'm going to leave the banner as it is. I'm going to reduce the navigation bar by about 50% of its height and width. And I'm probably going to reduce the size of these as well, so they fit a lot easier. So to do that, I'm going to have to do this here and at the same time do it on my template as well, exactly the same, so that each page then is exactly the same. So I'm going to change that from pixels to percent. Okay, remembering that these two are locked together, I'm going to reduce that to 50. So when I click off it now, they should both be reduced to 50. As you can see, that's reduced considerably in size. I'm not going to click on the tick because then that saves the it saves the actual document itself. I don't want to do that at the moment. If I click off it, you can see it shrunk down a bit more, and I'm going to do the same for these. So these I'm going to bring to about 25% of its current size. So that was, if I remember correctly, let's look at the pixels. Sorry, the height in pixels there. Oops. The height in pixels was 100. I'm going to reduce that by 50. That should be fine. Do the same there. 50. So the height in this one should be 100 as well. 99. And if I just reduce that to 50 as well, that should be fine. Alright, and hopefully now, if I save that and go back to Chrome and refresh, yeah, now there's no scrolling involved on this page. Okay, so that's our home page done as well. Okay, so with that done, just like I mentioned, I'm now going to do exactly the same to my template. So I'm going to reduce all the graphics by 50% so that it should look exactly the same as my home page. So I'm going to drag the template again into there. Let's go to percentage, 50%, enter, and let's grab that. Can I do these together? No, I can't. Okay, so let's do them separately. 50%, 50%, and let's do that by height. Let's do that by pixel. Let's make it 50. Okay, so now let's save my template as well. Okay, with that done, we're moving on to the second page. The second page was, let's have a quick look. The second page would have been called About Us page. So if I just go to my template, I'm going to do the same again. So template was saved in Dreamweaver. Let's close that for a second. I'm going to copy and paste by Control and C, Control and V, and I'm going to rename that to About Us, and I'm going to drag that into Dreamweaver. Okay, so I've inserted the About Us page, which we just copied and pasted, into Dreamweaver. And now the next step is I'm going to quickly look on the brief and just see what's required for that page. So just like before, I know that the headings here give me information about what goes on to each page. So this told me about the page template. It's told me about the file formats, the brochure. Should be created from a graphical image, and the brochure should go onto what page? This should be included on the activities page. School trips, using HTML CSS coding, create a box on the About Us page. So this is the About Us page there. So this information, so this should happen. It should say have a height of 400 pixels and a width of 300 pixels. Have a background color of that. Contain information about school trips to Escapade. So that means that from the information document, I'm going to take the information about school trips to Escapade and put that on there. Contain school trips PNG, which is an image, which should be positioned to the right of the text. Now, what this is asking for us here is for us to create a box using CSS. Now, what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to create everything in very simple HTML format, all the pages, and then I'm going to come back to this task. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to show you how to create a very basic website and the most basic skills. HTML does go into slightly more advanced skills, and I will come back to that, but right now I'm just going to demonstrate how to do this, not in the correct fashion, but just some way that it's there, because if it's not something that you're going to be able to remember, I do want you to be able to do this in some form, and then come back to it. I'll come back to it at the end and show you the CSS stuff to help you create this. So the first things first, it says get information about school trips to Escapade. So if we just open that up, there's a section here that says school trips, an exciting outdoor blah blah blah. Let's just take that paragraph. So we're gonna copy that paragraph there, and I'll go back to Dreamweaver. Okay, now what he said was create a box with, I'm gonna move down a bit, with text on the left and an image on the right. So to do that, I'm going to keep it really simple. Inside this row, I'm going to create another table to contain the text and the image. So I'm going to say table. This time I only want one row, so one row within this row, and I want two columns so that I've got my text on the left and my image on the right. Click OK. And what that's done essentially, as you can see, is just created another table within inside this row. So I've already copied my text. I'm just going to paste my text. Okay. And then on the right here, I'm just going to insert my image. So let's go to insert image. There we are in our images folder, and let's double check the, oops, wrong one. The image we had to insert was called school trips PNG. So let's insert that. Where are we? Back to Dreamweaver. Where are we? School trips. There we are. School trips PNG. Insert that there. Okay, and that's not worked too bad. Okay, so with that done, again, that's not bad. It's a page that doesn't need much scrolling, but it's not 100% correct. The other thing it said was that there had to be a particular background color. So if I go back to that, this is the background color. I'm just going to copy the hex code. Copy. I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver, and then the background for this particular cell, I'm just going to paste that hex color in there. Hit enter. There we are. It looks like the same as our banner. So that's what it's asked me to do in a really simple fashion. So I'm going to move on from that page. I'm just going to move on. I know it's not exactly correct, and you would lose some marks because we haven't used CSS to do it. But we'll come back to that at the end and demonstrate how it's done. So that's a really simple way to do it in tables. So I'm going to save that. The point of this is that we just keep moving forward and we create the 5 pages really quickly and simply. Okay, so the next page would have been called activities page, which links to treetops escapade page and junior escapade page. So let's take the template again, copy, and I'll push Control V to paste, and I'll rename it to activities. That will do. And I'll just drag the activities into Dreamweaver now. Okay. Let's center that. There we are. Good. Okay. Let's see what's required on the activities page. So there we are. Okay, so it says a brochure. From the brochure PNG image, create a graphical image that shows only the front cover of the brochure. If you remember, we did this earlier, and rolls over to an image of just one page from the brochure. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Is there anything about text? How to find us? What page does that go in? That's the About Us page as well. We've done that. Oh, did I do that? Okay. So the next step then is, let's find some text about, is there anything about activities here? Do you know what? I'm just going to take this text here, because it doesn't actually specify what text goes in there, but you know what, I'll just take this, because there's no right and wrong here. It doesn't tell us what text goes onto what page sometimes, and I think we can just play with the text as well, use it as we please. Okay, so then the next thing we have to do was include our rollover image. So I'm going to go to Insert, and we're going to go to HTML, and where's rollover image? Where was it? There we are. So I'm going to go to HTML, and I'm going to click on rollover image. Right, now let's call that one rollover image, and we want to select the two images that we created earlier, if you remember, on the second video, I think it was. So from this brochure image we created the front cover, and I called that front C, and then we took another one, if I remember correctly, I named that one the other page. There we are. So just going to click OK. There's my image. Hopefully once we test it there won't be any rollover. I don't think there will be when the actual thing's done. Okay, and actually what I'm missing here is I should include the links to the other two pages. So I'm going to put the text in, but I'm not going to put the links in. I'll show you that in a bit. I'm just going to add the text underneath. So the two other pages were, double check, and treetops escapade page. In fact, let's just copy and paste that, save us from writing it out, and junior escapade page. So just copy and paste, that will do for me. It would be even better if I put them into a table. In fact, you know what, maybe what I'll do is I'll create a table here. So insert table, one row, I'm going to do 3 columns. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to drag the rollover image into one, and let's take the text from here into number 2, and the text from here into number 3. Let's get rid of that extra space. Okay, so I've got, these are going to be my 2 links now. I'm not going to create the links yet. I'll show you how to do that later. So again, this is like my second page done. Let's check the rollover just to make sure it works. So click on save. I'll just go to activities, and let's open in Dreamweaver. Oh, sorry, in Chrome. And there is a little bit of roll, so maybe I'll have to fix the writing here. But yeah, as I put my mouse over the image, it rolls over. Let's quickly go and change that. Let's do, I've got an extra line there I can get rid of. Maybe get rid of that extra paragraph there. That should shrink it down quite a bit. Let's go back, refresh that. Yeah, now there's no rolling. I can't roll up and down on the page, and my two links will go there. Okay, so let's close that one as well, and let's go to our next page, which would have been treetops escapade. So go back to my template, copy and paste, and I'm going to call it treetops E. That will do. And let's drag that into Dreamweaver. Okay, now back to the brief. Let's just have a quick look, see what's required for that page. Where are we? That's for activities page. This is for, we've done that already. That's for the about us page. How to find us is on the about us page. So actually I need to add that to the about us page. This should be embedded on the home page, the video history. Okay, so it doesn't actually specify exactly what should go onto that page, but from the info page, I can take from here, look, treetop. I'll take the writing from there, treetop escapade, and I'm just going to add that in there. And what might be nice is if I put a couple of images in as well. So once again, I'm just going to create a simple table inside that row. One row, and let's do 3 columns. I'll put that there. And then what I'll do is I'll just take a couple of images from the folder itself. So that looks like something on a treetop to me. Treetop escapades, that looks fun. Let's take that. It really doesn't matter what the pictures are. Oh, that's a bit big. Okay, so let's shrink that. Let's say, let's turn the height to percentage, and let's take about 20% of that. That's better. Maybe a bit too small, but it doesn't matter. And let's take another image as well. Let's take that one. I'm just going to put that one on the far side there. And what is that one? That is, in terms of height, that's 200 pixels. So let's bring that one to 200 pixels as well. Okay. Now, actually, I don't think those images are big enough, but it will do for now. Save that, close it, and then let's work on the last page. Okay, so that's our 5 pages done. Just one thing I have noticed, and I think I've mentioned it while speaking, is I keep leaving this bit out. It says insert how to find us bitmap into the about us page. The inserted image should be in PNG format. So because we haven't converted the images yet and reduced the file sizes, and I said to you earlier that I will show you in another video how to compress images, I've left this bit out. So I'm going to come back to inserting this one image into the about us page a bit later after I've done our conversions. So with our 5 pages done, as I said, the thing we're going to do now is in the next video we'll quickly look at how to do the CSS part, but I hope that with this video you've just seen how easy it is to create 5 pages. And if this is the bit that you're going to go over and over to help you you know, view, understand, practice how to create web pages, then by all means, the CSS part, you would lose marks if you don't do it, but I'm sure it's not the end of the world and you wouldn't fail. But I will go over that bit in the next video now.